Alex. I hate Alex Legier. Fuck Alex. We ready?
We've been streaming for like 20 seconds now.
Wah, wah, wah. Alex is a dick.
Welcome to the Creative ADC podcast, guys. This is Alex. We have Mike on the other line here. I don't even know how to go about that intro. It's a good day. It's a good day for podcasting. So, Mike.
Yes.
How do you want to do this?
I'm not done warming up.
Okay, finish.
No, I'm done now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start the show here with something. This is the anthem. This is our anthem, Mike.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah.
You're a fucking cunt.
I don't even know what's happening right here.
You're a stupid cunt. Suck my dick.
This is definitely our anthem.
Shut the fuck up. Stop being a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. Nobody even wants you here.
All right, so I think that should be. We have to open with that every time now from now on. So that's our intro, guys. That's the new Creative ADC podcast. Where do I get a link for this motherfucker? How do I get this working?
For the Filthy Frank video. I think it's to you earlier. We'll just have to credit him.
Oh no, I meant for the live thing.
Oh wow, okay.
Because I'm an idiot and don't know how technology works. Because
you don't know your own fucking links. They're gonna fucking hold your hand.
Never mind. It's. Where do I get a link? I figured it out. Guys, I figured it out. I know what's going on now. All right, so post that on Facebook, and now we're officially alive here now.
Officially.
Officially. Oh.
I think it's pronounced officially, but I'll have to let that one slide today.
Officially. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, this is happening right now. So, Mike.
Yes.
Last week we had the amazing idea of doing the Pacquiao, I don't know, the Death Chip Challenge, the thing that everyone is trying to go on about. You know, this chip has the heat intensity of a Carolina Reaper, which I believe has on the Scoville unit, it's 1.3 million on the Scoville unit.
Yeah, and it's got like a $5 per chip unit on the pay scale. Which I think is probably the most painful part of this whole process.
Probably, but I mean the comedic value that you get out of your friends, if you can get like your dumbest friend to eat this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Then I mean, I'd pay $5 to see someone dumb eat something really, really hot. I don't know.
Well, what we did, I would have called the budget stupid challenge.
The budget stupid challenge.
Yeah, the bargain bin chip challenge.
But it was 11 o'clock at night. We're like, well, let's go see if any of the stores have them. Mm-hmm. None of the stores had them, and they were all closed.
Everybody sold out. Well, okay, the one we went to was sold out. The other two that carry it closed minutes after we left that first one.
It's true. Well, I snuck in like 5 minutes to the end, I guess, of one of these stores closing. And I'm like, hey, do you have those chips that are really hot? And they kind of looked at me, and they played it off really cool. I could tell they didn't want me to be there because they'd have to wait, however long it took me to go get the product I was looking for, bring it back, and, they'd be...
I don't think you were the only one looking for it either. That was kind of the kicker there.
Yeah, because there was actually a guy that was in there, and I'm like, do you have any of those hot chips? And then another guy's like, no, bro, they're sold out. I already asked. He looked high as fuck. He looked like your stereotypical stoner who would be trying to find the death chip at 11 o'clock in the evening. If that's a stereotype, I'm probably not. So instead, Mike enlightened me and said, "Hey, so the other grocery store here has ghost peppers, dried ghost peppers. Let's try those." And I've been looking for ghost peppers for the last 4 years and haven't been able to find them. And Mike's like, "Yeah, no, they're just fucking over next to the bananas." I'm like, "Fucking all right then." So we pick up some of these ghost peppers. They're dried ghost peppers. Seeds are still intact, and that's really where the heat is. So I'm trying to contain my excitement. I'm like, well, okay, we need some milk or some shit. I have never tried almond milk, so I grabbed a thing of almond milk. Mike did the same. And
I can't drink regular milk, and the big dilemma here is that I'm not 100% sure that almond milk has enough fat or anything that just regular milk would have to help with any pain that I was about to experience. But the caveat to that is eating a ghost pepper, chugging a bunch of milk, and then getting extremely sick because I chugged a bunch of milk. So, I mean,
I can imagine that the next morning, right?
Yeah, there's certain things that go through your mind when you're putting something that spicy into your body about where it's going to go and what it's going to do when it gets there. And I really don't need potential allergies to accelerate that process in any way.
Mike, I can only imagine if you were to eat a ghost pepper and drink a bunch of milk, the chaos that would ensue the next day. Being lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
So we get back to my place, and my roommates are asleep, and I'm like, all right, Mike, let's do it. And I have my GoPro up on the fridge, recording us from top down. And we cheers the pepper. I stick it in my mouth, and Mike immediately backs out like a pussy.
I pussied out hard.
And he looks at me.
Again, what starts going through my head is what this is going to do to my stomach later. My mouth in the moment and how that was going to affect me then and there. I wasn't as worried about so much as I was worried about where things were going to go afterwards.
You're just worried about the immediate danger at that point.
I was worried long term. Which is kind of funny because I thought in my mind I'll just use your reaction to calm myself and think, oh, it'll be all right, it'll be okay. And the exact opposite happened.
Here's the thing, though, is that we cheersed it. I stuck it in my mouth and I'm starting to chew it, and you give me this look. You're like, wide mouth. You're like, what's happening right now? You didn't actually just do that. And I start chewing it, and I swallow it, and I instantly in your eyes, I could tell you're like, oh no, I have to do this now. I eventually have to do this. I can't.
Yeah. That's kind of what hit me is that I was like, oh shit, what kind of a person am I if I don't do this at all? And I was like, now I just gotta psych myself out and get ready because I will have to do it. And part of me thought I was just going to chew it up and spit it out, and that would be fair. And seeing you totally chew it up, swallow, and then you showed me that you had swallowed the whole thing, I was like, oh no, this just went somewhere that I didn't want it to.
So, after I swallowed and I showed you, I'm like, all right, well, this isn't actually too bad. And then I started hiccuping, really, really bad. That's what it does to your stomach. It just turns it
painful
hiccups. Painful hiccups. And then I started to get spicy. I'm like, okay, no, this is holy fuck, my tongue's on fire. So, my tongue, and that's the only thing that was really the worst part, is that my tongue was just burning with a hot, white intensity of, I don't know, at least a sun and a half.
See, I wouldn't have called it a burn, though. There's a burn where you touch something hot or eat something spicy and it lingers and it hurts. But when I put that in, it was what I could only describe as a stabbing. I wouldn't compare it to a burn so much as I would compare it to a bee sting.
A bee sting all
or
over
multiple
your tongue.
bee stings. Yeah. That's what I would have called it, because it was just pure pain. There was no The biggest problem with it is that it catches you off guard how smoky it is.
And that's the thing. I guess it didn't have a bad flavor.
Oh,
I guess, but
like I said, if they could take that flavor out, no spice, and put it into a barbecue sauce, that would be fantastic. It was just this like incredible smoke flavor, but to the point that I felt like I was inhaling like a tailpipe, like if I was sucking on the back of a car, because like I choked. I was like coughing because it was so smoky.
and that's the thing. I mean, I put it in my mouth, chew it up and everything. I'm like, oh, this isn't too bad. I'm like, okay, not bad, and I swallow it. And then I showed you, and then when the heat hit me, like when fucking Satan's semen had just enveloped my mouth, I immediately went for the milk, and it was perfectly fine. I feel like I handled it pretty well. It's just the fact that
No. Well, I mean, like, you pretended to, and you maintained a lot of composure, and you're really cool about it. And I was like, he's playing this up, man. Like this actually really sucks, and he's trying to play me because I didn't eat it. And then eventually, when you looked up at me, and your eyes were bloodshot, and your face was purple, and every orifice from the neck up was leaking, and you went, this is a bad idea, I instantly regret this is horrible, this hurts, I regret this. I was like, there it is, this is the reaction I expected. Like,
but I mean, like a lot of the videos you see online are just people freaking out, like making a scene. I didn't. Like the only part is that like I'm trying to talk.
that's where we differed.
Exactly. You
stopped talking at one point, and I was like, should I be concerned? But it just seemed like you stopped because you just like, it was really hard for you to catch your breath, from what I could tell.
It wasn't even necessarily my breath. It was literally just the fact that because every time I would open my mouth, and like you do not want to breathe when you have one of these things. Like you just stop breathing, you're done.
Yeah, air
That's
becomes like the strongest like piece of like minted gum that you've ever had.
But
Like,
I mean, like the only relief was having the milk in my mouth, and then it hit a point where it's like, okay, this isn't doing anything. I need to, swallow or spit this out. I swallowed because
because you're a proper woman. Yeah. Because you're a
men.
You're a classy woman, and that's.
No, we'll get into the dynamics of the relationship dynamics of spitting versus swallowing another time. Mike, after he eventually put it in his mouth, he chewed it, and he told me ahead of time, he's like, I'm not going to swallow it, and I was okay with that. At least he tried it. And he spits it out, and he's like, this is the worst thing ever. He immediately grabs his milk, he's like, I don't feel good. So we ran outside, and Mike's got...
Yeah, my problem at that point was I knew that I was that milk was not staying in my mouth, and it also was not going into my stomach, based on the reaction that I was having. So I'd rather not, like, I don't know, maybe if it was just your house, I wouldn't I'd throw up on your floor and clean it up. But you have roommates, and
I have roommates, all of whom were asleep, except for one of them walked in, midway through, and he's like, what's up, guys? And I'm sitting here in pain. Mike's running out the door, trying not to shit himself. And he's...
Whoa, okay. I was orally shit myself.
Orally
yeah.
shit. So, like, we go outside, and it's a little bit cold, and I'm not wearing, like, shoes, so I immediately regret that, too. So Mike's out on the front lawn trying to drink this fucking, almond milk, which is just all over him, like from here down, like kind of on his shirt a little bit too. He's just covered in almond milk.
All I remember is right before we went to go walk back inside, I had to like, this is gonna be really gross, but
do it.
I had to take like a fistful of almond milk and snot and drool out of my beard because I couldn't feel my chin or my lips, and like everything that went into my mouth just kind of flowed out, and into my beard. So
it was a sight to behold. Unfortunately, we didn't get that part on camera because of one reason.
I walked away. I'm pretty sure I crossed the street and threw up by a lamppost, and then just came back.
I didn't. So I mean, the aftermath of everything was perfectly fine for me. Nothing burnt the next day or the day after, so I was fine.
Yeah, I didn't experience that either, which is weird. That was, like I said before, that was my biggest fear, and I had no problems later on.
It's
no long-term problem.
no long-term problems. That's fine. Well, I mean, that's fair. I guess I'm gonna break this this video up, and I'll post what little reactions that we had to the ghost pepper in a separate video.
Yeah,
so
you got really worried and turned off the GoPro, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And you're like, "I gotta turn it off."
Yeah.
And then you lay down on the floor after that.
I don't remember that.
I do.
And of course, after we were done with the whole thing, we ended up going downtown, and this is the only part I want to touch on for downtown is I had the ghost peppers in my pocket because I thought, yeah, I'll hand them out to drunk people. I did something you should never do, and that's break someone's trust.
I'm not proud of what you did.
Are you ever proud of anything I do?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm proud of my boy.
My boy. Oh no.
My grill.
Your grill. Okay.
Continue.
Anyway, so there's a woman that I work with, and I've really only spoken with her a few times. I do magic from time to time. She always, eggs me on to do more magic. And to be honest, anyway, so we see her there. I'm like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. And I'm like, here, take this. And I pull them out of my pocket. She's like, what is it? I'm like, don't worry about it. And she's like, all right, whatever. So I hand her one. She sticks it in her mouth, and she chews it.
Well, her friends seemed concerned, and they were like, is it drugs? And you were like, no, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Don't even worry.
And really, really good friends of somebody who's drunk and being offered some unknown substance on the streets, they just kind of stood back and let her take it.
As you do.
Yeah, like total sweethearts. I mean, yeah. If anything, they broke her trust too.
That's fair. Sure.
They showed concern and did nothing to stop it.
So, I mean, yeah. That being said, I fed it to her. She spat it out. Her friends are laughing. At that point, I'm like, okay, that's great. So I'm like, all right, well, have a good night. And me and Mike walk away. Mike, the entire time that we kept walking around downtown, he's like, I can't believe you just did that. She's gonna die. What if she's dead?
Yeah. What if she did get hurt? Is my concern.
To be honest,
the worst part is her friends are like, what was it? And she's like, it's one of those hot as shit peppers. And then she sat down on some steps, and I was like, dude, you could have killed somebody, and you're walking away. And you're like, haha, I broke someone's trust. And it's like, I think you did more than that.
So, I mean, the entire time that we were walking, I was half waiting for an ambulance to drive by or some shit, because I think that would have been funny. Just to say, Mike, I think I killed someone. Look you straight in the eyes.
I would have. I would have slapped you.
So we ended up driving back, or we drove away later on, and this woman was walking out of the bar. She was perfectly fine. She wasn't dead or anything. So, and I saw her the next, a few days later at work, and she was not happy to see me. It was.
Oh, you didn't tell me this.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, she wasn't. I mean, everything's fine. I mean, she's not overly pissed at me. She's just like, you're a dick. I mean, it's your own fault. You took an unknown substance from a shady guy in a hood downtown. Well,
but she was drunk and you were sober.
I was still on a high after having a ghost pepper. That doesn't make it okay.
That'll fly in court. Yeah.
It's but I had lack of judgment. Anyway, so yeah, that's what happened. Last weekend. That's what we did because we're fucking idiots. Like I said, video for that will be around. Will be around later whenever I get around to doing this. Was this after we saw you? Oh no, Jeremy, in the chat. Jeremy, we'll talk about that in a bit. Actually, let's talk about that now.
You want to talk about last night?
Let's talk about last night.
You want to talk about last night when you decided to go to the cheap was it Fishbowl Fridays?
Fishbowl Friday at BP
at Boston Pizza, not a sponsor.
Not sponsored. Nothing tastes better than not getting sued. Carry on. Yeah.
Yeah. You were proper fucked. Is the best way that I could describe it. You guys just kept going and going.
Each fishbowl is...
I showed up, I had a beer, and then left. Oh no, I didn't leave. I mean, like, that's all I had. Because I did have to drive, which was the waitress's huge concern for you guys, when she was delivering, what, your 7th or 8th fishbowl full of rum and coke?
One of the two, yeah.
And she looks at me and says, "You are driving these guys home, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, well." But
I mean, like, I was drunk, but I was at that state where I knew at what stage of drunk I was. Like, it wasn't like I'm incoherently.
No, you wanted to prove to her how not drunk you were, and then you stood up, and I remember you looking over at Justin and I like, "Oh, I am drunk." It took a second.
Like, we're sitting there. I'm like, Justin, show Mike a magic trick or something, and he gets the cards out. I'm like, I can show you one. Now, the point that I should be cut off is when I can't do magic when drunk. I do a lot of really dangerous magic. I do a Russian roulette routine with a nail. I do needle swallowing. I do some rudimentary fire eating routines, and fire breathing if I'm really feeling up for it. But the point that all those last things are really dangerous, I shouldn't be doing drunk in the first place. But card tricks, at least I should still be able to do card tricks.
There's this party trick where I pre-dial 911 before Alex does something stupid. And...
You know what? There's actually there was one point there were 5 people in the room that were watching me do the Russian roulette routine. And they're like, well, we already have 911 dialed. We even had a nurse in training. Like, she was going to school to be a nurse, and Justin asked her. She's like, all right. He's like, so you're gonna help him if he gets hurt, right? And she's like, yep, I already have 911 dialed. And he's like, well, I can fucking do that. Like, what do we have you here for? So there's one trick that I've done hundreds of times. I never fuck this up. And the whole point of the trick is to look like I'm fucking something up. That's the trick. And then at the end, there's a cool reveal where their card is the only one that's in their hand when I show them the cards there prior. For some reason, I knew when to do the hand movements, but I couldn't do them. My hands weren't listening, and I fucked it up a total of 5 times. Now,
yeah, that's right.
Now, go ahead.
You were supposed to fail to find the card, but you kept finding it.
I kept finding it. That's the problem.
Yeah, there was totally, like, the part where you're supposed to look like you fucked it up. You were doing it right, but it was the most, like, what's the word I'm looking for? There was nothing like sly or like smooth about it, I guess. It was just like, instead of being like, oh, I can't seem to find your card, haha, look, I can. Instead it was like, can't find it, there it is. So
graceful. And normally when I'm doing magic, I put on a douchebag, like a super douchebag persona, worse than I normally am. So it's something that there was no persona on this one. It was just drunk Alex. Like, I got this.
Yeah, I have to get this done.
So, some friends of ours had walked in, and they sat at the table behind us. I came back from the bathroom, like, oh, well, there they are. So I go and I sit with them for a second.
Shout out to Jeremy.
J-Mac. So I sit down next to Jeremy. I'm like, hey, how you doing? All this, and he's like, have you picked up my new book yet? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And he's like, I'll send you a copy. Like, no, I got this. I proceed to pull up my phone, go on Amazon, and I buy his book. He's just laughing. He's like, wow, this guy's fucked. He's drunk as mother. Yeah, anyway, so I buy his book, and then I walk back over to the table, and that's when the waitress had said, you're driving him home, right? And at that point, that to me was a challenge. I'm like, okay, I need to prove to this woman that I'm not as drunk as she think I am. And so
that's right. That's right.
exactly, and that's what was going through my head. So I fucked up the trick twice at the table. I'm like, you know what, Justin, I've got this. I can do it this time. I'm not gonna fuck up. So I walk behind the the bench that we were at, back to Jeremy and his girlfriend, his fiance, sorry. So of course, Jeremy's reminding me now that it took me like 10 minutes to buy it because I apparently don't know how to work my phone. So I'm like, Jeremy, I'm gonna show you a magic trick.
To be fair, the Amazon app on your phone should not be easily navigated while drunk anyway. Otherwise, it's just irresponsible on their part.
That's fair. No, it's hard to say whether I actually bought the book or I bought like a different book, because all I remember seeing is the transaction completed. I'm like, no, good enough for me.
Yeah, and now that your credit card's maxed out, you're gonna get that 10,000-gallon drum of lube delivered to the house. Just wait for that, man.
Jeremy, if I have a 10,000-liter tub of lube show up at my door, will you buy some, please, or at least give me a copy of your book?
Yeah, we're gonna have some lube bath sessions with Alex. That sounds bad, but essentially it's gonna be Alex laying in a bathtub full of this water-based lube, reading your book, by candlelight. It'll be like the best PR you've ever received.
To be honest, that book still, even if I bought a 10,000-liter, I think the number's going up at this point.
I'm pretty sure it's like 1,000 gallons.
1,000 gallons. Sorry.
10,000 liter.
Well, wait. One gallon is 3.8 liters. So, do the conversion there for me, someone. Because
nope.
Well, all right. So
it's a lot of lube. You could bathe in it.
It is a lot of lube. I mean, we'll work out the details with that later. We'll get a branding deal with whoever I bought the lube from. It'll be fine. It's still not the dumbest drunk purchase I've ever made. My absolute favorite drunk purchase was chickenfucker.ca. TM.
Wow.
I made it, and then I posted a bunch of my friends' pictures on there, and Mike found out when his face popped up on Facebook as the preview, and it was just chickenfucker.ca, blog of a madman, and it was just his face.
Yeah, for a month, and I didn't know.
And eventually I forwarded it to your Facebook page, and then to my Facebook page, and then there was some dumb cunt that I met at work, and I forwarded it to his, and I posted on 4chan. I'm like, hey, go to chickenfucker.ca and harass this guy. Wow. That last part didn't actually happen, but it would have been something pretty nice to do. So, Jeremy's asked me to do a sampling of his book while bathing in a 10,000. What's bigger than a gallon? I don't know.
I don't know.
Fucking
in a bathtub full of lube.
In a bathtub full of lube, I'm gonna do a sampling of his book because that's the responsible thing to do when you have 10,000 gallons of lube. So, where was I going with that? I just had a brain aneurysm. Anyway, so right, so I go back to Jeremy, and I'm like, Jeremy, I'm gonna do a magic for you. He's like, all right, whatever.
Do a magic.
So I'm like, if I fuck this up, then I'm gonna pay for your food. And he's like, no, you don't have to do that. I'm like, I'm gonna do it. No sooner do I say that, does the cashier walk up with the debit machine, and in retrospect, I'm like, no, she's not allowed to pay. And then the waitress looks at me, and she's like, the fuck are you doing? It's like, she gave me that look. She's like, I'm gonna have to fucking kick this guy out soon. I'm like, no, don't do it. I don't know if it sounded threatening. Like, in retrospect, it sounds, like, from the way that I say it, I think that it was probably a little bit pushy. But so I'm doing the trick, and then I fuck it up royally, and I turn. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll pay. And Heather had already paid for it at that point.
She had already processed the transaction.
Which made me sad. So, yeah, that was a little bit rough. Now, Mike decided to take my phone at one point to start swiping through. Well, actually, before we go that far, is there anything else from last night? How about when we got back?
Oh my God! It was just cut to you sitting on the floor, and every time Justin and I tried to say something to you, tried to add to the conversation, you're punching me. You're throwing things. You're not making sense. You tried so many magic tricks. You failed at all of them. By the way,
every one of them.
You have moved on to the Crown Royal, which was probably the worst possible idea because that's the only thing you need to follow up. What was it? 24 rum and cokes with.
I'm still hungover right now, to be honest.
Yeah, you were. Yeah. Anyway, so your phone dies entirely, and you wanted nothing more than to message somebody, and we're trying to tell you no, it's all right, but you were like adamant. You were like, I have to message this person. So I thought, well, I'll just go charge your phone for you. Where's your phone charger? Come to find out that you went into your room and plugged, and you had a perfectly good phone charger sitting next to your bed. And instead of plugging in your phone, you decided to grab some Crown Royal, plug in your fucking electric douche whistle, and walk into the other room and just complain that your phone's dead. When there's a perfectly good charger sitting in the other room, and it's charging up that fucking smoke dildo that you suck on all the time. Right?
Smoke dildo! Yes, that's exactly what happened.
I didn't understand it. I unplugged that fucking thing and unplugged your phone in for you, because I'm a good friend. And you don't need that thing.
I don't. No.
That's why I gave it to you.
I truly don't. So that's. Well, we covered. We were going to bring the douche whistle thing up later, but that is a great segue. I'm okay with that. So, did anything else eventful happen after we got back, or was it mainly just...
That was pretty much it. I went home a little later on because I could tell you and Justin... Well, Justin was tired. And you were getting to the point where, like, you were just arguing with me because I couldn't honestly say. I have no idea.
Okay, so earlier on in the night, Mike decided, hey, I'm going to take his phone and fucking swipe through Tinder.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, fucking all right then. So him and Justin are looking at these Tinder girls and swiping left, swiping right. At this point, I really don't care.
I live quite a ways away from town, so when Alex is drinking, my mindset is, you're drunk, and I'm sober, Dr. Love.
Sober Dr. Love. Trying to find me love on the Tinders.
I'm just trying to look out for your best interest.
I mean,
there's a lot of mistakes on Tinder.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
There's a lot of mistakes on Tinder.
Look,
there's a lot of nice people. There's a lot of mistakes too, and nobody is going to fight me on that. I can
really only defend this in one manner. The only person I've ever spoken to on Tinder happened to be absolutely fucking amazing. She's fucking sarcastic as all hell.
Yeah, that's because you didn't speak to the mistakes on Tinder.
That's
as far as I know.
Actually, if I remember correctly, she messaged me first because I'm too much of a pussy, I guess, to message people on. Yeah, because I had in my profile, I had gamer, rum drinker, cuddle enthusiast.
Wait, what was that last part?
Cuddle enthusiast.
Cuddle enthusiast.
No, Jeremy, I'm not trying Grinder because I have something else about that later that I'll get to that I'm not very happy with Mike with.
Yeah, you're welcome. You guys can just call me the bi-directional love doctor.
Eat
if
a
that
dick.
makes any sense. No, you're eating a dick, Alex.
I'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't have prefaced by saying that. Anyway, so no, there's one girl I met on Tinder who's absolutely amazing. She's cute as fuck. She's got these eyes that are like they're like, from what I can tell, because unfortunately I haven't actually met her. I almost said IRL. That's you've been on the internet too long when you say IRL.
Oh yeah, you fucking Alex, you little cuddle enthusiast, you.
Dude, I like to
I'm
cuddle.
telling my mom you wrote that on Tinder.
Your mom's gonna make fun of me.
Oh.
So, so she's got these amazing eyes. They're like, from what I can tell, again, because the only thing that I can tell of her is by stalking Facebook and Snapchat, because apparently I'm a creep. So no, she got like these like bright blue eyes, like, or not even bright. It's like these just amazing blue eyes. I was about to link for a second, but that's not a good idea.
No.
Carry on. Just say something. Yeah.
What do you mean by blue? Like in color, right?
Yeah. Like, hold on. Wait
Okay.
for my headset to change. Wait for it to change. It's gonna change here.
I know.
Like blue. Blue.
No. My father used to make a joke, and not that he's politically correct, but after 33 years in the military, nobody is. But he used to make a joke where somebody would have maybe a lazy eye, and he'd say they have blue eyes because one blue east and one blue west. And I was trying to find out which.
That's one of my favorite jokes that you've ever said to me. Is
No,
the blue eyes thing.
no,
It is.
It's mean. It's mean. But that's not what you meant.
No, not at all. No, she actually has like these really nice blue eyes, and she like I said, she's gorgeous as fuck. She's properly beautiful. She's got her shit together. Like, not many people, in this day and age, myself included. I mean, I feel like I kind of have my shit together, right? Like, I'm not out fucking, doing shit ton of coke or, anything of the sort. But like, she's got jobs. She's got. I might be wrong in saying this, but I'm pretty sure she has a house. That's probably not right. She actually has her shit together, and nothing's more attractive.
You don't need a house to have your shit together.
No. But I mean, like, that's like a symbol.
Know.
That's like a status of having made it, right?
But from what you've told me, is that she's in a position where she knows what she wants to do, knows what she is doing, and knows where she's going.
Exactly. No, and to be honest, that's incredibly sexy. That is something. That is very rare these days. So it's something that you don't really come across it. So it's something that's special if you do find someone like that. So I do get to hope to meet her someday. Hopefully, 2017. That's gonna happen. We'll make it happen.
Oh, come on! I'll make it happen before then. If you don't, that might sound a little bit forceful coming from a stranger.
Thanks, Mike.
But fuck it.
But fuck it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, don't like. God damn it!
I was gonna make a gay joke, but fuck it. I'm just gonna stare at the camera now. So, no. Part of the reason why I brought her up is because I don't think that she thought I was going to do it. I posted on Facebook, and I'm like, I need more ideas for podcasts, and she's like, talk about me. And I'm like, all right, fucking, I'll do it.
Yeah, your name's not Jared, so.
Your name's not #fuck Jared.
Yeah.
I've only met one Jared, I think. I think I mentioned this in the
Okay.
last
You know what? I was actually talking shit about anybody named Jared, on Facebook, and then it was like, oh, do you want to tag this person named Jared? And I was like, oh my god, I worked with somebody named Jared, and he was awesome. He was the nicest guy ever, and now I'm like, oh shit.
Oh shit, fuck all Jareds except for that one that I worked with that one time. I mean, so I still have to put up the #fuck Jared video later on. So we'll get that done sometime this week. So yeah, hopefully I end up getting to meet this wonderful human being that I met. I meet all the greatest people online. Or to deal with the internet, Mike, because that's how I met you.
Let's talk about that.
We will in just a moment.
I looked into his stunning eyes and he swiped right, and I was like, mm-hmm.
I wanna be part of that cuddle enthusiast.
Mm-hmm.
No, so we're gonna backtrack just a second, because not only did Mike and Justin play around with my Tinder, they also decided to take a picture of me while I'm like sucking on this fucking fishbowl.
Yeah.
And it just had the caption "fuck me," and you're like, send it to everyone. I'm drunk. So
All
I'm like, all right,
caps.
fucking, I'll send it to everyone.
All caps.
So
I just wanted a picture of you. Fuck me.
So I go down and I select it. I select everyone, including this wonderful human being that I just got done talking about. That just said "fuck me." So Mike, she probably has the wrong idea now. She just thinks that I want to fucking.
Or does she have the right idea, Alex?
I think she thinks that I want to, because I'm a cuddle enthusiast, I'm gonna fucking cuddle the fuck out of her. Those reasons. So that's not really the part that I'm upset with you about. The part that I'm upset with you about is that you didn't tell me what context it was in, and I sent it to Mr. Pine. We're not gonna say his first name because reasons. This got sent to Mr. Pine. Now, Mr. Pine is someone who I worked with for.
You need to start referring to that man as Mr. Fine.
Mr. Fine, okay.
Yeah, with the amount of compliments he pays you, you need to be a little more upfront about how good-looking this person is.
Oh, I'm not downplaying that at all. In fact,
I never said you were.
I was about to get to that. So I shouldn't have said the name of the company that I work for, but fuck it.
I was about to say that, but fuck it.
I'll blur it. I'll bleep it out later. Anyway, so Mr. Pine is a very attractive man. He's very, very pretty. Mike agrees with me on that. So look, don't deny it. So he I get hit on a fair amount by men for some reason. Apparently, I come off as not straight. So Mr. Pine decided that he was going to hit on me quite a lot, like to the point where he slapped my ass once while we were at work. He
Who hasn't though, really?
I mean, dude, I don't have an ass. I have lack of ass syndrome, LOAS, which is an actual thing. Google.
Laos? Like a country in Asia?
Is that actually a country in Asia?
Laos?
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
All right, cool. So, yeah, so he's dropped quite a few not so subtle hints that he wants me. So last night, as I was going through the Snapchat list, I'm going to send it to everyone because he told me to. Mr. Pine got that snap earlier this morning, and he's like, "You should have called me. We could have had a great time. You cuddle enthusiast." But no, I guess so I'm like, god damn it. Now I have Mr. Pine thinking that he's got the wrong idea. Yes, he has the wrong idea, not the right idea, Mike. So
he's got a lot of ideas.
So we're gonna jump to when me and Mike met each other.
Might as well jump.
Mike took one look at me and thought, well, he looks like a frat boy douche canoe. Those were your words at one point.
I don't use the word douche canoe.
This fucking douche canoe blowing his douche whistle.
Oh,
anyway, so until Mike got placed next to me and he overheard one of my calls. Either that or you're buddy jacking with me. Buddy jacking is not what it sounds like. Don't Google it.
So anyway, Alex and I were buddy jacking. We were buddy jacking real hard one day, and I was just like listening to him buddy jack, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, I can't even speak when I'm buddy jacking."
Call center term buddy jacking means to listen to the same call, and
Yeah,
work
it's when you
through
sit down at a desk and you just kind of take down your pants a little bit, and then you take calls like you're paid to do.
like you're paid to, exactly. So, when I speak English, I don't speak good, and
No shit.
there was a point during the call where I said the sentence completely ass fucking backwards, and I stopped for a second and I said to the customer, "Words are hard." So, because reasons, and so mine and Mike's friendship was forged on the words are hard. At that point, Mike. So, did you want to jump off a point at that, or?
No, that's pretty much all I heard. I was sitting there. I was new to the whole call center thing, and that's all I heard. Was I was trying to think, how am I supposed to take calls? I had taken mostly customer service calls at that point, and I was sat next to you for the technical side of things, but I don't think I was actually buddy jacking with you.
It's possible.
We were just two bros with desks touching. So, I mean, you don't got to make it weird. We're just touching desks, nothing weird.
Yeah, the headsets weren't touching. It's fine. That's cool.
Yeah, it's yeah. Anyway, so I did hear that when I was just sort of sitting there, just thinking like, oh, how am I supposed to deal with this? I'm on nights now. I'm kind of on my own, and all I hear is words are hard. Like, and I was like, oh, okay. I guess you don't have to know what you're doing. You don't even know how to fucking speak to get by here. So
exactly. So I want to jump into one thing. I guess you can add to it if you need to. So working tech support, over the phone tech support specifically, you get a few really strange situations that shouldn't happen that make you question what you're doing with your life, and this is my favorite one that's come up in ever. I had a call from a customer who was very new to the whole high-speed internet thing. They had dial-up for years and years, and didn't really know how things worked. So they had just gotten installed with the service, and they called me. They're like, "I'm out. I can't get online. Help me. What's going on?" And I'm like, all right, well, not gonna be too hard. Are you connecting wirelessly, or are you connecting directly to our modem? And she's like, how do I tell? I'm like, well, we should have a little black box with blue lights. What's that plugged into? And she says, it says TP link. I'm like, all right. So I get the model number from her and I Google it. I'm like, all right. So that black box with the silver trim and the green lights, it might get warm from time
I'm
to time.
suddenly starting to understand where the confusion came in. By the way,
It's just with the description.
Just based on your description.
Black box, silver trim, green lights might get warm from time to time. Is the way that I phrased it. So she's like, yeah, I see it. So she goes, I'm like, all right, unplug it. She's like, all right. She gets up from her chair, walks away, and I hear something drop on the ground. Sound like a fork or a knife or something. And I'm thinking to myself, that's not right. That shouldn't be happening. And she's like, there, it's unplugged. And on my side, I can clearly see that the modem's still plugged in. I still have access to it. I'm like, all right, weird. And it shows that the Ethernet link, it's showing that the device was still connected. I'm like, something went wrong. What did you just unplug? And the customer pauses. She's like, it says Kenmore. And there's an awkward pause for a second. I'm like, ma'am, did you just unplug your blender? She's like, no, I unplugged my toaster. It's another awkward pause for a second. And I'm like, well, why? She's like, well, you told me to unplug the black box with the silver trim and the green lights, and it might get warm. Might get warm from time to time, yeah. Say, can I get you to go back into your living room where the modem was so we can finish troubleshooting? 20 minutes later, we still didn't get her up and online. But this woman was damn bound and determined that her toaster had something to do with her internet. Because of the description that I gave her of what her service looks like.
I have a weird feeling that this is mostly your fault. Based on that description, or she was totally fucking with you, dude.
I hope I hope to God.
Yeah.
In a
I
very
pray
small
for-
way.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make for as good of a story, does it? So that's probably my favorite tech support story, save for something that's happened recently, but I won't get into that one. Did you have one that you wanted to go with?
No, I don't have a whole lot more outside of the man in the wheelchair.
Wheelchair guy was pretty good.
I feel like we talked about that already. Did I mention that before?
I don't know if we mentioned it on stream or not.
Oh, okay. No, there was this. So I got this call from somebody, and he said my internet's out. Same song and dance as everybody. So I said, all right, let me take a look. And after looking for a little bit, I thought, we're gonna have to unplug this and plug this back in. So I said, can you locate where the modem is and unplug this? He goes, well, I do know where it is. He goes, but I can't unplug it. And I think to myself, why? And he kind of paused for a minute and says, well, I'm in a wheelchair and my caretaker has gone home for the weekend. And I instantly thought, well, in the mindset of good customer service, I'm just going to send somebody out at some point to go give him a hand. Because I'm not going to ask him to do this on his own. I called up to my supervisor to ask if I can forego the process, and he says no. Fast forward a few years later, this supervisor that I was not too happy with in that case, it was the best man at my wedding. Anyway, so I tell him, we are gonna have to unplug it. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to forego the process. And he kind of sighs and says, okay, just give me a moment. And I hear this loud thud, and I'm thinking to myself, oh no, this is not good. And I hear like some messing around, some struggling. He comes back, breathing very heavily, and he's like, all right, it's done. What now? And I think to myself, we just need to wait. And I remember looking over at Alex, and I was just like, I was near tears. I felt so bad. And I come back and I said, all right, we're going to have to plug it back in now. And he goes, okay. And boom, he hits the ground again. And then I hear some struggling. And then the line goes dead. And I realized that he unplugged his phone. And all I remember was pacing around, and I was just like, I was so mad at my supervisor. I was so upset, and I couldn't figure it out. Luckily, he called back and said, yeah, he got it working. Everything's fine. So everything did turn out all right, but there's a few moments there where, as far as I was concerned, I sent a man who, with limited mobility, to the floor with no internet and now no phone, and his caretaker was gone for the weekend, and it's all that fucking call center guy's fault. I was less than thrilled. I was not.
You could have been the end of him, but it all worked out, which just makes me giggle.
Yeah.
So next, I guess this I think will be the last thing, because we're running close to an hour, which is what we normally end up doing. MMORPGs. I am a sucker for them. I've played pretty much every free one that's out there and a few of the paid ones. In one of these MMOs, I used to RP. I used to roleplay because I'm a fucking nerd. So
you used to like straight up like RP in your game.
In a lot of cases, to be honest, yeah.
What? How so?
I still RP from time to time in MMOs, just because I do fundamentally like the whole idea of becoming someone else. And even with one of my main characters in the game I'm playing right now, I put on a persona of sorts, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah. So, Kai, the name, any username that I use that has Kai in it has one specific persona. that I use.
No.
Oh yeah, no, it's pretty good.
No,
Yes.
you don't.
So
My one of my friends used to play Minecraft with us, and he would always build a huge farm and spend tons of hours on it. And I was like, "How can you do that?" And he goes, I'm just RPing as an Irish farmer." And I was like, "Whoa, that's
that's meta. That's something. So with the whole RP thing, I started up this guild called the Roleplay Society, the RP Society. So it worked out pretty well. It was pretty small, and I actually ended up like leaving. I passed the ownership of the guild off to someone else, and then I came back years later to the game, and it had grown to like this massive proportion. I'm like, God, I built this kind of. But there was at one point I was role playing, and in a lot of MMOs you hit enter to start the chat, right? It brings up the text box and you start typing. And because we were in full roleplay mode at this point, we're going through this campaign for the whole thing. I had hit enter for some reason, and I was trying to move using WASD, and it came out like this whole. It almost ended up being a word because I was hitting other buttons too, and I hit enter. And one of the people that I was role playing with said, "Oh no, Kai had a stroke. He's dying." And so I just kind of rolled with it and then just started typing out stroke noises.
You're having a keystroke.
I was having. I had a keystroke. That's exactly it. It was pretty bad, to be honest. So we're gonna talk about what's happening in the chat here in just a second. So at that point, I after three strings of me, typing out all these, stroke noises, I logged off. I logged off. I stopped playing the game for a solid month and a half.
That's dedication.
It was it was pretty bad, yeah. Jeremy in the chat is saying that, or no, Mike said that he's going to RP as Alex IRL.
Yep, I'm gonna RP as Alex,
the average magic douche.
Sometimes I like to pick up Alex's phone and RP as Alex on Tinder. I can, yeah.
It's Jeremy. Jeremy says, "I know you love me," and
I don't want to say it.
Say it.
Oh.
So I don't know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up Alex's phone and RP as a desperate magician on Tinder. Alright, so continue.
I had nothing else. That is the perfect end to this. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been the Creative ADC podcast. Tune in next week where our roles are reversed and Mike's gonna be.
I'm gonna RP as Alex.
Mike's gonna RP as me. It'll be a great time.
I'm gonna RP as myself, RPing as Alex, who's RPing as
a guy who stroked out.
Yeah, guy's having a keystroke.
Guy having a keystroke. Well, I'm gonna play out our theme song now, and you guys all have a good time.
Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. You're a stupid cunt. Suck my dick. Shut the fuck up. Stop being a fucking cunt. Shut the fuck up. Nobody even wants you here.
Alright, that happened. Mike.
What?
That all happened.
You're gonna have to credit Buddy there for that song.
Yeah, no, definitely.
His content is monetized, so
yeah. What's his thing?
I sent you the link to the actual video earlier.
Should still be in here then.
Alex, you're still alive.
But what? No, I stopped.